Hey, what's good, everybody? How you guys doing, one and all? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from 8 to 80, sick, lame, and lazy. I'm back here. This is your boy, Mr. Ed here, coming in on a Saturday night episode. Man, we got a how do I put this here properly? And I'm gonna be joined on here briefly by Orlando Owens here. And this may be a very short show, maybe a very long show. I'm not really sure at this particular point. But obviously, today, February 24th, 2024, we had a South Carolina primary, and that went down. And I'm going to share my screen with you here. We're going to just dive right into things because if we look at this, I want you to show you the tally here. This is what we're looking at. Oh, God, I hate these little cookies. Really? You're doing that? All right, come on. South Carolina. Biden says Trump wants to take us backwards following the South Carolina GOP primary. I'll address that comment here in a minute. But let's take a look at what is out here. Hold on. Let's double check something here. Do we need to be? Yeah, that's what we need to be seeing. We need to see me. We need to see the graphic. So, wow. This is not like you got beat. This is a straight up ass whooping. With 90%, an estimate of 90% of the vote counted at this point. Trump with 406,000 votes. Nikki Haley with 266,000 votes. Now, this is very important to understand. When there are certain primaries in various states that are closed, meaning only party members can vote in these elections. And then there are open primaries, such as Wisconsin and South Carolina. South Carolina is no primary. That means anybody can vote in a Republican or Democrat primary. We have long said that Democrats have implemented Rush Limbaugh's Operation Chaos. Rush Limbaugh has talked about this, and Republicans never took up on this. And it's funny because, old guard, old school Republicans were all about, well, we got to play fair. We got to be above the fray. And this is one of the reasons that Republicans as a whole piss me off because let me break it down like this. Now, I'm not from the hood. I'm not from the streets, but I've hung out with a lot of people from those areas. And I understand that the person who stands is the person who wins. Now, old school, first to fall, first to lose. That's old school. I'm part of that genre. But I'm also part of the group that was like, you know what? If there are three monkeys and two of them are trying to get onto the ark, I'm going to fight like I'm the third monkey trying to get onto the ark, you see? And I've never understood why Republicans got to try to be like, oh, we're going to be above it. It's like, no, you need to get your hands dirty. You need to get into the muck and the mire. You need to get in there and fight like your life depends on it because guess what? Your life does depend on it. And for you to sit there and fight like, oh, we're, 13 paces, turn around and spin. No, I know you're doing 13 paces. Well, you shot him in the back. Yeah, I did. Because it was either him or me. 1, 2, boom. Oh, you're without honor. But am I? Because the guy over there who's taking the additional paces, it's not that he's without honor. He is without life. He is sans life. Again, if you want to fight, you fight to win. You don't sit here and play these stupid, rules of engagement. You don't sit here and play these little dumbass ideas of, honorable men. You're fighting for your life. And just the same as you're running a campaign, you do the same thing. Now, if you get caught up on something, well, then you get caught up on it. Measure yourself. We are joined here, and Orlando Owens is going to be joining us here right now. There we go. You know, I said right now, and all of a sudden he popped up. It's magical. Are you the magic Negro? You know what, Dancing Bear? And I know I'm poking somebody or somebody's. Actually, I'm probably provoking a lot of people, but what are you gonna do? Fight me? Yeah. Anywho, how you doing, man?
Brother Ed, I'm doing well, my friend. Now, am I in? I didn't know if I'm in. There you go. Hey,
You are, yes, sir, indeed.
I am trying to get to your page so I can put it on my page as well too.
And
Because
by the way, we are streaming live here on Facebook. We're on two sources on Facebook. Number one, right now, we're on my homepage. We're on the Ed Delgado Show homepage, and we are on YouTube right now. We are not right now. I'm toying around with it with X. I'm toying around with it. I'm not gonna do Instagram. I thought I was gonna do it, but God, I hate Instagram. Hate it with a passion. I gotta find two other platforms, and I'm gonna play with them.
okay, I was trying to go on Instagram, but I guess I can't do it either.
Mm.
Thought I could do it. Instagram,
Could you imagine me on Instagram? Like I would be banned so damn fast.
probably so.
Like you would
No,
have all these liberals out there, and I know a couple of them, and
I did post. I think I just posted on X though.
okay, because there's a couple of liberals I just want to like go after, like, and it would be so fun.
We should engage some of this stuff. Why not? I mean, what do we have to lose?
Well, I got nothing to lose, but at the same time, it's like, all right, you're gonna come at me and try to like discredit me, and at the same time, it's like
Well,
I have nothing to gain by engaging you.
now that's true. Like, what are we trying to gain? When you have individuals coming from Instagram, because you've seen some of the battles and conversations I've been in, who have their own like
Mm-hmm.
amen corner. We're not convincing any of them. There's not many people in there who are persuadable, and it's just really just um, it comes into the dozens game. Who can call
Yeah.
this a dozen? And when you don't have the home team, even if you're funny, the home team is going to quietly just snicker like, "Oh, that was funny," but I'm not
Well,
going.
right. Because that's kind of like the fools that like that are interjecting himself between this so-called beef between Eminem and Benzino. And it's funny because like you talk to anybody, he's like, don't nobody know who the fuck Benzino is. Like
He's he's
this
way more.
motherfucker look like he's 60 years old. He's got folded forehead. Look, he looks like a pug.
He probably is about 60 years old. He's a,
It,
he's he's a little older than us, or in our age group at least.
I
But
know, but
we're
dudes
not.
over here crying and stuff, and it's like, are you are you for real?
We're not. We're not anybody. Not anymore.
No, we really aren't. We're two dudes on the internet complaining.
And that's the best you're gonna get.
That's all we got.
That's the best you're gonna get. So, but man, I'm trying to do this. I don't know how to
Oh,
do it. So, man, I don't know how to do
oh,
this.
we got brother Mike Myers up here. What's going on, brother? Mike, no. What the shit, bro? Go,
Well,
Nikki. Yeah, go, Nikki. Go far away. We're gonna talk about that. I'm
yeah.
gonna talk about that. Oh, Nikki. And by the
Oh,
way, I put the chat on the right side of the screen here. And for those of you guys, and before we dive deep into this here, Pump Daddy he got him some ink.
okay. Yeah. I see it
Yeah.
coming together. I see you. I see it.
Yes, sir.
I see it.
I'm telling you, bro. This was 4 hours yesterday. And yeah, we're going to be doing the rest of this here come in 2 weeks. Gonna be getting this finished up. Oh man, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it. You
I'm
know.
going. I'm going to share this on supposedly live YouTube. I don't know if I'm just going to hit yes.
All
Say
right. Let's see what you got. All
I,
right. We're gonna show this on stream. All right.
are you seeing it now?
We are seeing it. Fox News Saturday night with Jimmy somebody.
Let me stop sharing that. Okay, so that's how you vote.
Yes.
But let me go back to you though. Okay.
Yep.
I don't know if you can
So
see any of the results coming in. Are the numbers still rolling in?
well, let's get it out here. Let's get it out. All right. We're gonna take the chat down. And Mike, always good. And Mike Myers, if you guys get a chance, check him out. Spreaker.com. You can find him on Mike. What is it? Radio Hope. And I know sometimes that does change up. Put that up there so I can put it up in display. But Mike Myers is a very old friend of mine. I have, and he's I think, out of Iowa. And I mean, just a phenomenal podcast. I really love this guy. And just a wonderful, wonderful, principled Christian individual. But what do we got here? Let's take a look at the primary results out of South Carolina. Now, it was interesting to note that Haley should have been favored in South Carolina. She was the former governor of South Carolina, but she is literally down right now 20.5%. And that's kind of been the trend going through the night. But with an estimate vote in of 92%, Trump is up at 414,000 votes, ahead by 141,000, almost 142 against Haley's 272. Now, if we are being intellectually honest, how many of that 272 are actually Republicans and how many are Democrats?
That's it. You're right. I think we did a little research. Always leave room for some room. Mike says he's in the center $1,000. All right.
Well, he that's like investing $1,000 in Terra Luna.
So Mike, why? So Mike, do you think she's going to win, or you just hoping to make it competitive? Um,
I think Mike might be trolling us though.
okay.
And Mike does that from time to time. I mean,
Okay.
and Mike, if I'm wrong about that, please tell me. Please let me know. Because
You
if
you
you
put a
are
thousand
serious
on?
about that, Mike goes, I'm a trumpet all the way.
Oh, okay. I'm like, man, I got some swamp land down in Florida, and I own the deed to the Brooklyn Bridge. If you want to invest 1,000, I got you. So, I'll, I'll, I don't know if I can. We can do a split screen.
You're good.
You good?
Yep.
So, Nikki is. There was some commentary tonight, and I didn't see all of it. I'm going to go back. I'll be up tonight for a while, probably just watching some of the ones I missed. But someone noticed that she never used the word Republican in her, I want to say, concession speech. It was just her speech. And, there have been banter about her being on the no labels campaign now. And I don't know. I guess they're hoping that, because the last I checked, congressional candidates can be a felon and still run for office. The question
Yep.
will people still vote for Trump if he's a felon, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't get the Nikki Haley play. I just don't at this point. I just don't.
Here, I'll
A
give
scenario.
you a scenario.
Okay, go ahead.
The scenario that I was offered was that in the event Trump is convicted that Trump is incarcerated, that she would be the default choice.
Uh-huh.
But let's keep this 100. Let's 100%. And I'm somebody who has said that, you know, if you don't vote for the primary winner, then I got to. That is true for the most part. But if, let's say, in this particular case, and I think we have to look at every election situation by situation. If Nikki Haley, before convention, becomes the only person on the field, and she said, "Well, I won. That's it. Trump's incarcerated, so I'm your guy or I'm your gal." Yeah, no, because we need to keep in mind. I think you and I may have talked about this. Every other Republican candidate only suspended their campaign,
Yep.
which means they can reactivate their campaign. So I would fully expect all the DeSantis people to encourage Ron DeSantis to run again. Although I think Ron should not. His campaign team was garbage. I think Ramaswamy would be the shoe-in at this point because he is Trump 2.0 at this point. What do you think?
I think our analysis is good. Because I don't think Nikki Haley will move the needle with the grassroots, and I say grassroots. I don't necessarily mean
I don't think she would move the needle with the AstroTurf crowd.
okay.
I don't think she would. I do not think she would move a needle in a seamstress what studio? What do they work out? Their back rooms? Something? I
She
don't think
won't,
she can move. I don't think she can move the needle in a Singer sewing machine.
or
But
or
that's me.
or a compass making company. I understand, but what I am saying is this: with other people getting back in the race again, if it becomes open, yeah, when I say grassroots, I don't necessarily mean the GOP. I mean people who are non-affiliated GOP, who are conservative voters, who may participate or may not in elections, or um, just vote occasionally.
Yeah.
I don't think she wins them over at all, and I think that, like to what we talked about earlier, the field. I think the field comes back open again. Can this come
Well,
back?
and it's interesting because let's say here we are, February. Trump is incarcerated by end of May, early June. We are looking at about a month and a half of just people going at it at this point. And who do you think becomes the successor to Trump, given the field that we have at this point?
I mean, he likes Vivek. He likes Tim Scott. He likes. I mean, his short list of VPs. I would think they would get his endorsement right away.
Yeah.
One of them, um, if he believes he cannot do the job, one of them right away, they'll get his support.
Right.
But I believe this: I believe Trump won't be found guilty, or they won't come to a conclusion before he becomes president. I mean, fawning. That's just I was gonna say some other word, but that
Oh,
lady,
Fanny tripping.
that lady over there. I just said that lady. I'll leave it out. I'll leave the other terminology out.
We did hang out once or twice.
But that lady over there. I mean, January 6th has more film is being released, and you see officers standing down, and Trump not
Hmm.
telling people to say to go and be violent, and for the ones who were violent, sure, they were no more violent than what happened here in Wisconsin when the liberals took over the state capitol, when the BLMers started to burn and loot Racine and Kenosha with the cow written out.
Yeah.
So again, now would he get a fair hearing? That's another thing, but I just question it.
Well, here. I'm gonna throw this out here. I'm unpopular opinion coming up here.
Okay,
Derek Chauvin, his conviction was politically motivated.
how so?
Well, everything he did was standard operational procedure. Everything he did was by the book, and the prosecution's own expert on lethal force was said he could have used more. The judge, when they talked about changing a change of venue, said there's nowhere he could get a fair trial outside of the state of Minnesota. Meanwhile, Maxine Waters is telling people to march on this place. And then you throw on top of it the fact that the jurors were intimidated every time they were led into and out of the courthouse. Yeah, it was political and it was out of fear.
I give you that. Um, I will say that I think fentanyl in the system
Oh, he was speedballing. Yeah.
may have played a role, and you're going to do and you like you said, all your levels are just to the roof. Any
Hmm.
romantic or stressful situation can probably skyrocket all that stuff.
Well, considering how much drugs he had in his system, would he have even seen the next day?
Don't know. Now I will say they're doing more, police and the military and manufacturing. I would say,
Well, and that's the hypothetical right there.
huh?
If he was left his own devices, he may not have seen tomorrow, considering how much was in his system.
I, I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying police and fire departments and especially manufacturing companies.
Hmm.
Senator Johnson talks about it all the time that it's always continuing um, improvement. So police are always looking at better ways and how can we be, you know, do our job, more effectively and efficiently.
Yeah.
So even from what happened, there have been more conversation around restraints. Restraints will never be easy. I mean, let's just be clear. I'm trying to restrict you from moving and still have control.
Hmm.
So it won't ever look pretty at all.
Well, okay, so that's an interesting one. If I got you by the neck and I got, my fist on the back on your back, and I'm trying to get control of you, and you continue to fight me, at what point do you say, you know what, you do you? Because you're fighting me. I'm restraining you. You have, you've committed a crime, or at least allegedly. And at what point is it like you're trying to fight me for your life? You're trying to, do everything you can to up into including killing me. I'm gonna choke you out. Like, seriously, why wouldn't I? And if you die, you die. Again, you play stupid games, you get stupid rewards. That's how I would look at that,
Well, when you
you
take away,
know.
when you take away more of the non-lethal techniques,
But again, I'm just trying to, subdue you.
right? Again,
Like, I want to put you in a sleeper hole. I'm not trying to choke off all the oxygen to your brain. I just want.
right? Again, you're taking away the tools that I have that are not supposed to be lethal, but they're meant to be uncomfortable. Then you leave me with fewer options to have,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where we're hoping it don't go. Again,
Right.
I think the Derek Chauvin situation was just terrible.
Well,
Um,
and I talked about that. There was a liberal we were on the same podcast with, and he was trying to suss me out, trying to, make me seem like I was contradictory. And I'm the first person to tell you, I'm a paradox. You know, I'm like abortions for everybody because liberals will kill their own and conservatives won't. Have at it, guys. But, again, that's more my libertarian leanings. But I told him the same thing. It was a very unfortunate and shitty situation for everybody involved.
Truly,
All the officers that were involved, for Floyd, for his family, for anybody that was associated with anybody involved. It was literally one bad day.
yep,
And that's all it took to literally take all of their lives and just turn it upside down.
yeah. I don't think there's just. I mean, it's bad. What I will say is that there are hundreds, thousands of encounters a year, maybe even in a day, that don't go that way.
Right.
So,
Well, I can tell you, I have encounters with law enforcement all the time. Whether I'm passing by them, whether I'm like, I've been pulled over. It's amazing how many people don't jack me, you know? And I'm like one of the darkest brothers around here. But then it's like 97% white people. And so it's like it's weird. It's funny because like when cops pull me over, like, oh, dude, what do you do? "Oh, I do X, Y, and Z. Oh, tell me more about that. Yeah, I do this for this place, this place, this place. And they're like, oh man, I go there all the time. Well, you need to be ordering more of my product. When I say that, I feel bad because I feel like a drug dealer, but and it's like, no, I supply that. I talk to this guy, this guy. Oh, I know him. Oh, really? All right, cool. It's a cool cat. But I got small time life up here. Um, real quick here, Christine. We got her in the comments, and I always gotta acknowledge her because I love Christine. I love her family. Wonderful, wonderful people. They've been longtime supporters and of the show here. And she was talking about Nikki Haley's concession speech.
and it wasn't, but okay.
Well, it was funny because it's like, how do you get like curb stomped and then like get up and claim like you won? That is like fascinating to me. And by the way, Trump is now up over 20 percentage points over Haley. Haley has not, she broke 40% at one point, and I heard somebody say if she can't break 40, she's going to concede eventually. But will she? To answer your question, Christine, eventually I'm working on trying to get some technology where I can stream the conversation, a video, pause it, and we can make our commentary. That's what we're going to be doing going forward.
Well, I don't know what I did, but you were able to see a live broadcast. So
Which one?
the one when I went to Fox News.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if that's maybe where you would go live from a live commentary or something you recorded that you have to upload.
Well, I'm trying to get where I can live stream, let's say if I'm on YouTube, right? And well, here, let's just try this. Uh, we're going to stop this and then we're going to share. Let's go to YouTube. All right, so I'm pulling up YouTube. Yeah, Benzino and his fake ass self. But tell me, guys, if you're hearing
A video went viral, man, of you crying when you were speaking on your
Yeah.
beef with him.
I don't hate Eminem, and I don't hate white people. I don't got nothing against Eminem.
I don't regret crying. I've cried before. I got no problem crying. I want to battle him face to face. I think he's overrated. I think he sucks as a rapper.
Got nothing against Eminem.
I heard that.
all right. Oh, all right. We're gonna pause that. So, did the audio come across when I put that up?
Yes, I heard it. Yes.
Okay.
Clear.
Benzino looking like one of the California raisins.
I want to cry. Yeah, clearly. So
Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine?
So that means you can go to YouTube.
Oh yes, sir.
For Nikki Haley speech.
Oh,
That means you probably go to Facebook. So your platform is she
we
said
can blew this up.
to Ed, you should be able to do it from your platform.
Well, and that's the thing with moving some things around. Wasn't quite sure. The technology evolved, and when you're dealing with a platform like Restream or StreamYard, it's a matter of making sure that you can hear it properly. And this is what I've been trying to conquer: is that you can hear what you're putting out. So when these speeches and stuff come out, we can break them down, play them, pause them, and then make our commentary accordingly.
Well, you may have some tonight.
Well, it opens all kinds of doors, doesn't it?
Can you go to your Facebook page?
What are we looking for?
I'm saying in your comments or any stories you have posted, you can see that also.
Oh, well, let's do that in my page. Benzino. God, I've never heard of this dude up until like 2 weeks ago.
Benzino?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. He's an old school rapper in the industry.
Yeah, an old school rapper that nobody ever heard of.
I guess he's okay and decent in some corners.
It was some corners, but he ain't M. He ain't 50. He ain't G12. Hell, he ain't Nelly. He ain't Drake. He ain't Drake.
Repo Man's in there. Repo.
Repo's the man right there. Dude got his Interceptor.
Is that a vehicle?
Yeah.
So you can go to YouTube. Right. Go ahead. You're gonna try something out.
I want to make sure I want to make sure that I pull something up, but I don't want to pull up the wrong thing. Okay. There we go.
Oh, I can see it.
Let's see if now I need to pull something up.
Oh man.
Did you hear about the controversy about Google Gemini?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a black Viking?
No.
Yeah. This is facts. There was a movie back in the 90s called The 13th Warrior, I think is what it's called.
I remember that.
With Antonio Banderas.
I believe so.
And he was an Arab, and they left him there, as basically their ambassador. And he basically became a Viking. Cool. Those things happen. But when you type into your AI, whether it's ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Bing, and its crazy stuff, whatever, show me Vikings. And all I get are blacks and Asian and Hispanics. Come on now. Half those people didn't even exist at that time, and the other half were on the other side of the world.
That was a big issue for AI this week.
Yep.
Show me a picture of the Pope. It was like, what?
Google is woke.
Huge issue. So when you said, show me a picture of Hunter. Oh, okay.
I saw that and that was wild to me. All right, let's see what I can do here. Yeah, got a lot of shots fired. Here, let's see. This is going to lead to another YouTube video, but that's on a different window. Fact is that we can do this. All right, bet this is what I want. This is what we need. Okay,
Okay.
so let's talk on Nikki Haley for a moment.
Right.
So Nikki Haley, and I was watching her before you went live on Instagram. I was watching Nikki Haley speak, and I'm listening to her yammer on and on. It was like 45, 48-minute speech, and she's talking about we need an alternative. We need, this can't be a Soviet style election. And right there was like, that's some bullshit right there because it was Soviet style election. No, everyone dropped out because they knew there was not a path forward. You're the only one who was fucking stupid to realize that you don't have a path. We have 20 plus other primaries coming up. They need an alternative. To that, I would agree with her. They do need an alternative, but it is not her. If DeSantis couldn't survive it, Ramaswamy couldn't survive it, it should not be her. And I am so sick and tired of the narrative of and she slides it in very slyly. The female narrative,
Yeah.
a woman running.
The old ovary thing.
Right. Am I voting for your ovaries? Am I voting for the Vagigi? Or am I voting for the most competent person possible? And I'm sorry, Miss Haley. You're not it. Am I wrong about that?
Huh.
I'm just asking the questions here.
I mean, I just don't think she has the support that she needs to move forward.
Most of that supports Democrat support.
Right, and they're going to flip as soon as the primary is over to the general. They're going to go back home to Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's presumptuous of her to believe if her handlers are saying that she needs to be the alternative. Like you said, there's 2 or 3 people that, and maybe a fourth that may emerge that will be at the convention or in the wings.
All right. If we go to convention, right, I'm willing to bet, and correct me on this if I'm wrong, and I might be, probably am. We go to convention in August, there will be about 43 people that are Nikki Haley supporters. And that will include the people at the booth who are paid to be there. Like, they don't care. Like last year in La Crosse, RPW had their convention, and there was his brother who was driving around in this van, that digital van, and he had derogatory things about Republican candidates. And I was like, bro, I just want to holler at you, man. Talk to me on what you're doing.
Right, exactly.
And he tells me, and he goes, I don't care about this.
I'm just
right. That's all he said. And I'm like, I bet.
I think I was out there with you.
I think you were. I think you
like,
were.
Yeah, it's like, I just work here, man. I'm just driving. They told me to drive over here.
They told me to do this. This is what I'm doing. Yeah, I feel you. Brother's making like $15 an hour driving around.
I ain't knocking the man hustle. I ain't in all this, man. They told me to drive. I'll leave.
Right. You tell me to drive this circuit. This is what I'm gonna do. By the way, Joe, Grey Goose. Brother, you're Mexican. You too poor for goose.
Oh,
You need to get that fleshman's. You need to get that that taca.
well, no. Joe hangs out with Fanny.
So maybe he might have a case of goose in the back. All right.
Joe hangs out with Fanny. I like Red Goose. I don't really like wine like that. Oh my God, bro.
Oh, Joe's
What
a
is
trip.
going on in
Talking
Georgia?
to Orlando.
What is going on in Georgia, cuz? What is going on in Georgia?
Joe in Ohio though.
Ohio?
Yeah, so he don't be messing with Fanny.
What do you mean? What's Ohio?
Oh, high in the middle.
All I can say, Fanny, is so now what's coming out are the phone records, right? Both her and Mr. Batman,
Mm.
Mr. Wade, are saying like, yeah, you can't really trust cell phone records. So, and cell phone teams. So
Nah.
my question goes like, well, Miss Fanny, how many times have you used cell phone records in the cases you prosecuted as part of the evidence of whatever cases you prosecuted? So you now open up a window to say all those cases that you used.
Right, the ping data and everything else. Yep.
So now you're going to say those cases you can't really. I'm just imagining. Did you not use any cell phone data to impugn and present that someone was guilty of something? Is that what you're saying? A technology that your prosecutors have used in cases since 2017. Now it's faulty. I'm like, this goes from bad to worse to bad to worse or. Like, so now, so you have every attorney now saying, well, wait a minute, if she's saying you can't trust it, and she's used, and her attorneys, and she has used this as, I want to, judge, I want to rebut my case again.
Right.
I'm like, this is wow, bro. The judge on the case gave to Fanny. It was only $150, but he also worked under Fanny, Fawny.
At one point, right.
And how do you not disclose that? How do you not know, like, that's part of your team? For any attorney that's in front of me, if I know their names, especially if you're an active judge, which maybe this is the reason why you probably shouldn't do it. But if you're an active judge and you've given the campaigns, every case that comes before you, from the prosecuting side and the defending side, you need to know their names, and your team needs to run those names. Did I get any money from these people? Or do I give anybody money? Because I want to be able to accuse myself to say it won't be.
There it is. Because, and I was going to say, I hate to say this, but you know what? The 1990s was the apex of human civilization. It was certainly the apex of American civilization. I mean, yes, we got great technology today, but it's only made most people dumber. But in the 1990s, people had more integrity. Judges, lawyers had more integrity. They defended the system, the rule of law. They said, you know what? Hey, I used to work with this individual and when we had a private firm, so I need to recuse myself from the case. And there was no harm, no foul. It just is what it was. And today, people try to cover it up because of political agenda, ideological beliefs. Really? This is what we're doing?
Well, it was only $150, but
$150 can become 1,500 to 15,000 to 1.5 million
Bro,
very easily.
his wife gave it to Fannie.
Mhm.
So your wife gave too, Judge. You now also may have to recuse yourself. I mean, can it get any?
Can Trump get a fair trial in Georgia? That's the question. I say no.
I'm just saying, bro. So you don't, before you even take this case, you don't have a person on your team say, "Hey, run the donations that my wife gave and me," because I can't be caught off guard to say, "You do know you gave this dude $700." Like what?
Right.
Oh, I didn't recuse myself, or at the very least acknowledge it and say I did give this DA or this private attorney $700 in his campaign. And if the ethics board and the other presiding, circuit judge say, yeah, you probably need to, I don't know, you need to take that case. But
Yep.
how does it come back? And then there are videos of the attorney of Mr. Wade, who is his, I guess, I don't know if it's his partner or not, but he represented him in his divorce. And there's film of how this presiding judge gave Buddy the business, was adding, like, hold on, you don't understand the question. Clearly, you don't understand the question. But he didn't keep that same energy for Fannie, though. When she was up there showing her natural, he didn't keep that same energy. But for the brother, while you want to talk about racism and emasculation, oh, he was at the brother's dome piece. Like, well, clearly you don't understand the question, and clearly you wasn't listening. I was like, oh, but you ain't showing that same type of energy for Fawny, though. Stop it, man. The same judge, bro. The same judge. This clip's out there right now from a guy called what is his name? Let me see. Can I find you might like this guy, Ed. Let me see. Can I find his name? But it's like Time in Exile, or what's his name here?
All right, make sure you share it out here. Real quick here, Christine mentioned the whole thing is going to get tossed, and the only consequence will be no business is in New York. That's a different topic than Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis is in Georgia, correct?
She is.
It would be great if the whole thing got tossed in New York, because that's a whole nother matter. That's the $480-something million fine for the so-called overvaluation of his building. And, they're charging him $87,500 in interest daily, based on a presumptuous BS summary judgment by the judge there in New York City. But this is exactly what we have said from the very beginning. And I'm not the only one. Many other conservative commentators, on the national state levels have said, what is the left trying to do? They're trying to literally drain Trump of his resources. And sure, we can clown Trump talking about, he's pimping out Trump sneakers. And that's funny as hell. Don't get me wrong. But you know what? You spend $400 for a pair of sneakers. There's only 1,000 of them. Trump makes a lot of money. You make money flipping them online. Yeah. Or then just said, the hell with it. I'm up. I'm out. I ain't dealing with this no more. But you see what I'm saying?
I got some.
All right. Are we talking sneakers here?
I got some Trumps.
I was going to say, because apparently somebody I know,
I got some.
And I need to talk to him. I need to talk to him.
I look good.
And let me just say this. I'm just going to say it out here. Ian. If you hear me, we need to talk. Because you acting out of pocket. I said what I said. And don't threaten me. You don't want to do that. Just talk to me. Saying what I'm saying. Yo.
So I guess some people. So we there's a controversy about Acosta's, Bill Acosta's over at Fox.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can bring it up, Ed. You might be able to find it on YouTube or on Facebook or Google search it. Maybe you can play it because it would be great for us to kind of this
Bill Acosta.
Bill Acosta's
Okay.
Trump tennis shoe or whatever. Trump sneakers black people.
Oh, yeah.
For those who don't really watch Fox News with the Megyn Kelly show, you may not know who Bill Acosta is. He is I don't know if personality is the right word, but he's a contributor.
Yeah.
And he contributes sometimes hard news, which is like legit information or whatever. But he also has a certain side of him that's also presenting satire, jokes. He's a singer, great voice as well, too. And he made a comment on the Megyn Kelly show. Is it Megyn Kelly? Or no, Laura Ingraham. Laura Ingraham, that's what it was. That's on Fox. That Trump is making shoes, and black people love shoes. And there's all type of stuff on social media going crazy about Bill Acosta's comment. Even Michael Steele, this is why I left the RNC. This is why we never did anything like that, because clearly we're stupid. I was like, stop it, Michael. So so those same people who are offended or question Bill Acosta's, take, which I think was kind of tongue in cheek.
Mm-hmm.
You have no problem with Joe Biden eating with a black family, Chick-fil-A eating chicken, and saying you play AAU basketball. You ain't got no problem with that. Black folk now. Sit at a black family eating chicken, talking about orange sodas, and you play AAU basketball.
What about or a great drink, red drink? Not drink, drank.
Drank. Is that what he said? Drank.
Well, you know how we do it back in the day.
He slides in that draw when he wants to. They do.
Well,
Put y'all back in chains.
What I'm saying is, back in the day, we didn't call it grape soda. It was purple drink.
Yeah.
It wasn't like cherry or strawberry.
Red.
It was red drink, and it was an orange. It was orange drink.
There you go.
Not orange drink. It was orange drink. We did it with the Kool-Aid. Do you remember back in the day?
You better
dip
know
into the Kool-Aid packet.
You better know.
And if you had a little bit of money, right? You put a little bit of sugar in there, made it a little sweeter. You know what I'm saying?
Middle school.
Broke as shit. Broke as shit.
Get everything you can out of it.
Right.
So that's the new call. So if you don't vote Democrat, then you ain't black. That ain't.
You know what? I gotta do a better job with show prep. That needs to be on my soundboard. And here's the thing. Let's cut all the crap for a second. And there was a clip I was gonna play, but it was like 9 minutes, and it was Charlemagne the God talking this shit. And I really don't want to fuck with Charlemagne because, like, dude got mascara on. He looked like Dr. Dre with lipstick and lace.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, Charlemagne be looking a little effeminate. I said what I said.
And you said what you say. I say it again before I take it back.
I say it many times. What are you gonna do? Fight me? Nah, you get security to fight me.
I say it again before I take it back.
Here's the thing, though. The stereotype. Well, black people like sneakers. Yes, they do. Blacks, Hispanics. You ever step on a brother's Pumas?
Hold
His
on.
Nikes. Do you remember? Do you remember The Last Dragon? The movie The Last Dragon?
Hold on. I
Wait,
do.
wait, wait. Let me finish this. Let me finish this.
Go
Bruce
ahead.
Leroy, kiss my Pumas. You know, don't step on bro's Pumas, his Converse. Don't
Hold
step
on,
on his
bro.
Nikes.
Hold
Don't
on,
step on
bro.
his Air Force Ones.
Do
Don't
you
step.
remember? Do you remember? Do the right thing. That started the
Yes,
conflict with Radio Raheem and said, you stepped on my Air Force Ones,
yes,
my
sir.
Jordans." He said, "He's like, I love Larry Bird." Whatever he said. So we're gonna say that LeBrons and the Easies and the Kyries
Yes,
and
sir.
these shoes, we
Or the
don't.
Supremes or the YSLs.
Man,
And
stop.
it's funny because you know what? Every time a high-end sneaker gets launched, who are they marketing to?
I mean, primarily, people of color because we keep the trend and whoever else can buy it. Let me be clear, man.
We're all about the drip,
If if
100%.
if I wanted to, and I'll give you the backdrop to this. Trump went to a official organization called SneakerCon,
Yep.
a non-political event. My guess is they wouldn't allow candidates to come there, only maybe the local elected official, not someone running for office. So the only way that Trump could get in front of those people was to come there as a vendor.
Yep. And you know what? All he did was put out, Trump is famous for the gold toilet, right? If I'm on a gold toilet, you think I roll some gold sneaks?
Hey, you can say what you want to. He paid the cost of admission to get in front of these people who may not even vote like that. So I won't be surprised if Trump shows up. And I actually rock with the idea because I talk about these like non-traditional voters all the time, from the snowmobilers, the hunters,
Mm-hmm.
the sneaker con, the was Comic Con when they in there with all the uniforms and all the.
Yep.
Go there, go because of the whole thing with gamer time when all the guys are gamers and
Well, you have Comic Con still. There is comic venues and stuff. By the way, if you're not familiar and you're a comic book person, manga, anime, whatever, people need to look into the Rippaverse, RIPPA, the Rippaverse. They are destroying Marvel. They are destroying DC. And you know what? There are other content creators coming for the comic verses as well, too. So to your point, and it's kind of pivots a bit for our conversation, but it's on track. We've talked about this many times. Conservatives suck when it comes to creating culture. Trump went out there and put out some sneaks. I thought it was cringe as hell, but you're marketing to a certain group of people. And was it black folks? Well, do black folks like sneakers? You're damn right they do. Why do you think they spend, 150, 200 on a fresh pair of sneakers? Why do you think you will get into a fight with somebody over some sneakers? White people don't do that. Wrong.
Well, again, you use what you have to get in front of people. I don't necessarily think that the Trump shoe was all that well thought out. What he needed to have a interest fee to get into the room, which was you got to be a vendor. Could he came in with t-shirts? Why come to SneakerCon with t-shirts? Come with some shoes.
But you know what now that I think about this though, you know what the brilliance of him coming out with 1,000 pair of sneakers at $400 was? 1,000 pair of sneakers, that's 3 zeros. With at 1,000
least
pair
$4.
for 400, you put in another 2 zeros he's gonna make 40 grand off of it, right? The publicity that he got from that is exponentially higher than that. And the people that are flipping those sneakers are selling it for $7,000 to $12,000 a pair, and there are people that are buying them up.
So don't be surprised if Trump is at the tractor pool. He was already at NASCAR. He's going to show up at the flat tracks and the cross country tracks. He's going to show up at the gun range because again, he's going to go to the hunting lodge because
Wait. I gotta stop you. Jamiroquan, you and I need to connect because you are so off base. And I'm gonna read this comment.
Go ahead.
None of this matters. None of this means anything if they ain't talking policy. Let's stop there. Jamiroquai, most people don't understand policy. You have to understand that most people are NPC. You have to understand that most people don't even know how to play the game. They know they're in the game, but they don't know how to play the game. Let's continue. How are shoes going to gain new voters? LOL. I don't know. AFP, how are you bringing new voters in? LOL. Here we go. Policy info on the shoebox. I don't know. Could you do that?
Could be
How many kids were found by putting a missing child on the back of a school box, a milk box?
Yeah.
Probably not. Any voter information collected? Probably not. You're right about that.
Well,
are you looking at consumer data? Are you looking at the trends, the culture, other things like that? Are you looking at what can you do from the conservative perspective to create music, books, comics, animation, culture?
Well, I would question.
We as conservatives are horrible with that. And when we start to do that as conservatives, we do what most minorities do. And you know what that is? The number one sport amongst all minorities, we tear each other down. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I would question Jamiroquai on if there was any voter information collected. Anybody that stopped at his booth to sign up for some shoes, they have voter data. If you bought a pair of shoes, they have voter data. If you stopped at the booth, somebody sold a pair for $450,000. Stop it. Stop it. Again, it's not necessarily hard. It's not about. This is where Jamiroquai may be falling short. You don't have to talk hard policy to connect with people, man. People connect with you because they connect with you because they connect with you because you have a like interest. When I was going to the tractor pools and they didn't care what my policies was. And you can say good luck. I'm cool with that, but I can tell you what, AFP didn't get inside a SneakerCon. They didn't have a booth in SneakerCon. That's all I'm saying. And he did something that most Republicans didn't even go to SneakerCon to set up a booth or get in to sell shoes or sell something. Trump did. So you just talked to a whole nother population of people who were most likely didn't vote, but now they may vote. Like this dude came. Showing up is half the battle.
Well, and most people don't have a grasp on policy. And Jamiroquai, I love you to death. Like you're a brother, man. I love you, man. You know this. We have talked many a time. And you know what? We need to connect so we can make this happen. The problem that I have is when you talk at this level, right? Most people are at this level. How are you going to bridge that gap between the two? And if you are going to hit them with just nothing but reason and logic and facts, you're missing the fact that most people are emotional animals. They're not in the same frame that you and I are. You and I could talk on that level. We can talk on the level of facts, reason. We get it. But most people don't get it like that. And you have to build that rapport with them. And in building that rapport, you have to hit them on the base level. But in order to do that, you have to get very interpersonal. And oftentimes when you have these conversations with people, you don't have enough time to do that. Let's see here. Jameer Kwan also mentioned here that AFP is giving away free groceries at Pete's Fruit Markets about inflation in Spain. All right. You know what?
Let me say this.
Let me just add this. That's great. So you gave a fish away, but did you teach somebody how to make more money to meet that inflation? And I love that you're giving away free groceries. I totally do. Absolutely. But that is one part of the equation. Orlando, go ahead, please.
So you must understand this. You must meet people where they are. Before people know how much you know, they have to know how much you care. You came to something that I was interested in, which is SneakerCon. I would have never met Donald Trump. Those people at SneakerCon not coming to a GOP rally. They're not coming to the AFP rally. They're going to the SneakerCon rally. You must go where the people are. They were at the SneakerCon. They're going to be at Comic-Con. They're going to go at 40 West, whatever that's called. That's another technology thing. That's where you got to go meet where the people are. You can't assume they're going to come to you. So Trump is going where people are. Shoe the shoes. You caught whatever you want to about the shoes. I think the shoes was an entry fee to get in front of those people.
Here, we're going to, I just sent Jamiroquai a invite here.
Go away.
Yeah. It's interesting because I'm looking at this and I'm going to sound like a liberal. Please don't nobody punch me in the face. I'm going to sound like a liberal in the sense that everybody's a little bit right. Everybody's a little bit wrong. Because all this is, parts of the equation, if that makes any sense. And here we're going to introduce Jamiroquai. Jamiroquai, with his Boost mobile phone.
Yeah, listen, man.
Hey, wait. Why you coming at me with Cricket Mobile?
Oh no, because I'm out kicking it tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm out in the community. I'm outside with black people,
Are you Are you outside in the community, or you outside bar hopping?
I'm outside, man. You know what
How you doing, man?
I'm always outside. I'm excellent, Orlando. Let me tell y'all, man, y'all wrong. Y'all super wrong. I just came on here to tell y'all that y'all wrong. Yes, I was at Pete's Fruit Market. I gave away $60 in groceries to 100 people, and I talked to every last person about inflation. I told them exactly why it was happening. I told them how we could solve the problem. I took information. I gave some of those people jobs. You know what I'm saying? I had follow-up meetings with people in libraries, in KFCs, and McDonald's. I met them where they was at in the hood. I'm off 27th and Cap with these one-on-one meetings. You understand what I'm saying? And these people hold on, cause y'all actually went a long time spewing a lot of misinformation.
You gonna scale it back? We gonna scale it back, or I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you. I will mute you. I will mute you. I'm gonna mute you right now. I'm gonna mute you right now. So make no mistake about this. When you're on my platform, if I interject, you will silence yourself. All right. So he bounced out. All right. Here's how this rolls. If you think you'll come out and you want to dominate my platform, you are wrong. I am dominus. I will dictate what happens and the flow of it. Make no mistake about that. Do not think you're going to come on my platform, dominate it, and think that you're going to go ahead and just run it. You talking about you gave $60 of groceries to 100 people? I'm calling bullshit on that. I go to a grocery store, I buy like 2 12 packs of sodas. That's fucking $20. Don't sit here and tell me some bullshit like that. What did you do? Get there like 5 for $5, mac and cheese. That gives you $55 more worth of stuff. Sure, no doubt. But what else did you get? What did you get that was healthy? Fruit? That's $7 for a pack of oranges. What'd you do? Take those oranges, divide, and everyone gets 3? Don't sit there and tell me that. $60 for 100 people. $60 for 100 people. Would you get them a bunch of Kit Kats? Do not come on my platform and think you're going to run roughshod, because I will shut your shit down. No exception. Was I out of line?
My friend, it's your platform.
No, I'm just asking you. You keep me in
No, no,
check
no.
on that.
I think it's your platform. I think Jamiroquai,
I think he was lit.
maybe a little bit. He's hanging out. He wants to, say and show how he has a problem with the sneaker thing. As if
I
buying
had a problem with
food,
it at first. Yeah.
as if buying food and giving food cards is not a way to also gain. I mean, so do we know that Trump didn't have a team there? This is Donald Trump. I'm pretty certain he had a team of people that were at SneakerCon. To say that, well, that's not talking policy. I mean, his organization on a lot of levels can't really push one side or the other because it goes against their charter, right? I just think, unfortunately, I think he misses the point of the idea that uh, Trump was able to go into a venue that he didn't have access to voters. You don't have to get heavy on policy. Again, nobody knows how much you know. Nobody cares how much you know. They first know how much you care. By him showing up, showed him that he cared. You don't have to talk about policy, and you get there. Let's first at least show up first. You don't have to. It's like if I'm gonna use a crude idea here. So you think you finna get to her on the first date? If you do, you may want to question this whole situation. Most won't on the first date, my friend. It's gonna have to be some follow-up.
Mhm.
So just slow your roll, enjoy the journey, get to know each other. We got a little time. So you don't have to go, well, he didn't talk about policy. Well, how many other candidates how many Democrats are going to SneakerCon? Or what's 40 West, whatever it's called in Texas? How many people are doing that? So I applaud. How many people are going to the boat show coming up in a couple weeks in Milwaukee?
Well, and that's the thing. They're gonna go to the boat show. They're gonna go to these various conventions, and Jamiroquai mentions some stuff. He talked about how he was sober. I'm sorry, man. If I mischaracterize you as being drunk, that's fine,
He was
and
a
I'll
little, he
apologize
was a
that.
little high though. He came a little high though. I would say
But
that.
you came in hot like that, and when I tell you to rein it back in, you rein it back in. That's just how. That's just the bottom line.
So
And let me just throw this here. If you don't like how I operate this, everyone is fair to get the stepping, because
you
when
let
I
him come back on.
interject,
You
when
let
I
him come back on.
interject, when I interject, we're stopping that part of what you're saying. We're gaining greater clarity, and then we're moving forward. Jamiroquai's back on.
So let's bring him back up. Like you said, let's bring him back up.
And Jamiroquai, let's stop here. First and foremost,
I haven't said anything.
let me just stop here first, because I have a certain format how I like to do things. I like a proper introduction. How are you?
I am very displeased.
Ooh.
Tonight,
Uh, with first of all, I'm sober. I don't drink anymore. I haven't had a drink in over a month. Um, so
That's good. That's
I
excellent.
actually didn't appreciate the alcohol comment.
I
Um, I'm
appreciate. You know what?
I'm a very passionate speaker, and I came on passionate because I was typing one or two sentences, and you guys will go on minute-long diatribes, and I came on here to
No, we
explain
go longer than that.
Orlando was wrong. And I think in a lot of sense, Ed, you also are missing the point here.
Okay.
Donald Trump did all of this before. If you don't remember, right? he literally galvanized entire groups of individuals around
100%. Yes.
around he is a populist. This is what he has always done. Okay, we don't have to have this conversation because it is the same conversation we've been having. He does not talk policy. That's why he lost in 2020. Okay? He literally has some of the best policies that we had seen in generations, right? The three stat act never even never articulated this point on the debate stage, not one time.
Let me
He let them turn tax reform into a rich man's giveaway when everybody got a piece. It was the resurgence of of our country. He is a populist. He does not know how to articulate himself and his policies. Whatever platform this party is, he can't be a representation of it. He
let,
can't. He's a
let, let, let,
businessman.
let me interject. Let me ask you this here, because you threw a lot out there, and I don't disagree with what you're saying. But before I even interject anything,
Of course you
I'm
do.
going to apologize to you. I will humbly apologize to you because you came in really fucking hot. And when someone comes in hot like that, it's like, all right. And I have to admit, in my experience and my bias, when somebody comes in hot like that with me, they're usually lit with several hundred drinks on them. So I'm going to apologize to you. And the fact that you have not had a drink in over a month, man, congratulations. I celebrate every person who says, you know what, I'm not going to do this. So I'm going to apologize to you for that. So I hope you do accept that. And I hope, things are cool because every time we have interjected personally, we've been good. Now, that being said, I don't disagree with what you're saying there. Trump is indeed a populist. And I remember back in 2016 when he was elected, 2015 going into 16, a lot of people were saying, he's not a conservative. No, he's not. He's your typical New York liberal, which if you're old enough to know this, you know that a New York liberal is somebody who's very left on social issues, like not really caring. We would call them libertarians today, but fiscally conservative, realizing you have to deal with the realities of financial budgets in the world that we have to deal with. The First Step Act was probably one of the biggest things that he did. The Abraham Accords, huge. You look at everything he did domestically for energy and everything else. But those were year 3, year 4. What was year 1, year 2? And it was a lot of being hamstrung by a Republican Congress. That being said, you were talking about a moment ago, giving out, $60 to 100 people. Elaborate more on that.
Brother, every single person I gave out a gift card to, I gave a handout on the Biden and the trillions of dollars of new spending he's added to our debt.
Mm-hmm.
I gave people a handout of what groceries cost at the beginning of 2021 and what they cost today, right? Everybody got one of those. Everybody who I stopped to talk to give that gift card to wants to know about the policy. And this is my problem with people like Orlando who feel like it's okay to be disconnected from the reality. Yes, you can. You can get it done on the first day. All right. I know that some men may not have experience in getting it done in night one. All right.
What
But
what is that? What does
but
that mean?
but I when I sit down and I talk to somebody and I break down the policy, when I break down and I make the connections between the policies and how it's directly impacting their lives, and when people have individuals in front of them who understand these things, they take advantage and they emotionally pour out because they've been waiting to tell these things to people for so long, but nobody ever has anything different to tell them other than things like you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, or it's gonna be okay, or oh, we'll come save you, we'll cut you a check, and it's just worse and worse every day. And here I am with this is happening because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, really? I didn't even know that was going on.
Hey,
Oh yeah, but listen, but I'm sorry,
yeah.
I'm gonna
No,
interrupt.
please go ahead. Go, please,
Right?
please do.
I follow that up with I am a source of knowledge for you moving forward. So if you want to continue to have these conversations, I'm here for you. If you turn on the news and something make you mad and piss you off, call and yell at me.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go and get the answers for you. I am the ear and the mind and the mouth for the people who trust in me to know and to communicate these things to them. And I've never ever had a problem getting my follow up.
All
Ever.
right.
So this is what I would say.
I
I'll jump in here.
Go ahead, Lana. Then I have a couple follow-up questions here.
So I think what you miss Jamariquan in your assessment where I'm coming from, nobody cares how much you know, how much you got answers. Nobody cares about that. So you first know how much you care, how much you connect with them. I don't know any presidential candidate who's ever been to SneakerCon. So let's first start from the premise of
Mhm.
these individuals are like stoked on the fact that anybody even cared to show up. You don't need to get that hot and heavy on policy and this, that, and the other in a non-political venue. That the only reason he's there because he's selling a sneaker to get in front of these people because it's a non-political venue. You can't push policy like that. What you can do is talk about some things very lightly.
It's
And I'm,
branding.
and I'm pretty certain for anybody who bought shoes, they got data on. Anybody who came to the booth or wanted to get information, they got information on. So just pump the brakes on what he's not doing and how he's not going to be able to connect because it's SneakerCon and he ain't talking about policy. It can come together. But you
Mhm.
first must come in without trying to push your policies and go and just meet people and listen to them. Like, okay, I'm just here. I'm selling shoes or whatever the case may be. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up at the boat show next week. Not to say I'm Joe Biden because again he can't go to those.
Brother's gonna roll in with a golden boat.
He can't maybe that selling an outboard motor, but he cannot go to these events that have all these people who are not normally at the GOP event nor the AFP event, but these people are going places where they spend their money, their treasure, and their time. You must be able to go there not under the auspices of this is a political event. You can't do that. But you can go there as a vendor in this case. He can't even go he possibly can go as the prior president and still be able to go there. But at least you must be able to get in front of these people. And that's all I'm saying. You can say,
All
well,
right.
you need to talk policy. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Let me interject here. There was a comment, Jamariquan, yeah, babe. And I want to just get this out into the open and just real quick, real brief. What beef do you have with Orlando?
Oh, you got
Just
beef with me?
quick and to the point.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, there was a comment that came across that he said earlier, and I just want to make sure that if there's something there, then we just need to know. We just want to acknowledge it. That's all I'm saying.
No, Orlando was the man who helped teach me the ropes. I think that sometimes his perspective can be very dangerous to our um returning. And when I say our, I mean the black vote, the black community, the black togetherness to
Dangerous how so?
the Republican Party. You know, I think Orlando is very disconnected. And I know a different Orlando one
Okay.
who would not say and do some of the things that he say and do on this little live thing. And so, and that's
But
why
but
I
but,
know
but
this.
when you say dangerous, though, when you say dangerous, how so?
Um, I don't think there is um enough representation on, like, for instance, he said that a lot of people don't have the wherewithal to understand the
I
power.
would agree with that.
And I think that's underselling the intelligence and the capability of our people to understand these things, right? Because, and I only know this because I do it every day. I do it every day. They might not be able to pick up a whole bill and read it front to back and understand all of the language.
100%.
But if
100%.
you
Yes.
can simplify those policies enough, right? And because it's called talking points, everybody has them, right? And you can deliver that message in a way that it connects to them. If you can tailor that message to your audience properly, you can sell them on those policies and they will understand what you are saying. I think Orlando is far removed from talking and having those conversations with the people in these areas, right?
I'm
And I
Mhm.
don't think he's that far. I've seen him have tough conversations with people all throughout the city. So I can't say he doesn't do it. Right?
So,
I'm just saying
yeah.
I don't think he talks to the disconnected voter, the person that doesn't really vote at all, the person that's not really as involved in politics as the rest of the Black Republican circles are. You know what I'm saying? Or
So,
the Black politic circles are. You know, and so I think that alone, that statement alone, to say that we don't have the intelligence or the wherewithal to properly digest these things in short form conversations, I know that is false because I do it every day.
so I think what you're saying has some credence, but I also think you're wrong. And I don't know if it's a matter of different levels. Because I remember the Orlando of 4 or 5 years ago where
He
he
was a
was,
disruptor.
what's that?
He was a disruptor.
Oh, yes,
And,
he
and, and
was.
he stood on what was good and what was right for
But
us. He stands on
well, no,
what
no,
is
no, no,
good
no,
and
no,
what is
no, no,
right
no, no,
for
no, no,
the
no, no, no.
hard.
I gotta stop you for
Yeah,
what's right
please,
for us.
please.
For what's right for us. Are you
For
talking about what's
black
right for?
for black people, for the
Ah, that's
black
what I was waiting for
community.
you to say. Because you know what? I ain't fighting for black people. I ain't fighting for Hispanic people. I'm fighting for American people. And let me stop you. Let me stop you. Because if you're doing this for just black people, then you're stepping on the line. Now, I'm not the cat that's gonna put you back in line. That ain't me. What I'm saying is, I remember Orlando when he was talking, when he was running for his alderman district, he wasn't concerned about anybody outside of the city of Milwaukee. And that's where I see you right now, bro. And that's cool because you see everybody within the city of Milwaukee, you in your community, in Jamiroquai. What side of Milwaukee do you live on?
I live on the east.
East side. Which obviously, and I'm making an assumption. East side, nice, everything, but you do have a lot of connections with North side. Am I correct in that assumption?
I'm on the north side every day.
Absolutely. So you're connected that way. Orlando lives on the North side too. Orlando has expanded himself on the state level, and he's seen different things there. And as for me, I'm a military brat. I was in the Marine Corps. My ex-wife was in the Navy. I moved all around the world. I feel like Biggie Smalls. And yeah. But I've been around all these places, and I was always a city boy. I'm now rural, very rural, and I see things very differently. When you expand beyond, because most people that live in the Metro Milwaukee area, they see only that Milwaukee exists around a 30-mile radius outside the county. Nothing else matters other than that. You're both right and you're both wrong. I think that if you can talk to somebody, how many people do you talk to? Well, let me ask it like this. Are you a good storyteller?
Absolutely. I used to write music.
How do you yes, by the way, I want to talk to you about that.
No,
No.
no.
Oh, Jamiroquai getting
I
all
want to,
defiant.
but I do want you to get to that question because I definitely want to tell you something for sure.
How do you hook the person that you talk to? Because I think that most people they operate on an NPC level.
Hmm.
They don't understand the policy. And most of these people, you unless you can get an emotional hook, you're not going to get them to understand it. And if you can convince them to switch views within 5 to 10 minutes of a conversation, how do you know that's going to stick? That the next cat on the left is going to be able to do the same thing?
The Because I've seen the journey. I've seen the journey. The thing is, upon that conversation, a lot of people they lean very heavy into the Republican Party and the history of the Republican Party and how they're doing us wrong, we're doing them right. But people don't care about that stuff because they are suffering. And so I listen to people's suffrage. I hear what they're going through first. And if I can provide a solution to that, I do provide those solutions. And if I can't do it, I go and search for the people who can. You know, when my man's got out of jail, he was on papers. He was on an ankle monitor for months, almost a year. I got him a job, $20 an hour, canvassing right here at Americans for Prosperity. My man's is thriving now, right? He is taking his journey upwards. But from the moment I talked to him, even before I knew his background check was going to clear, he locked in. He came to events. He called me. He asked questions. He wanted information to read. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I do try to be. I try to make myself the bridge to the resources for these people. I shake as many hands as I can and make as many relationships so I know more people to call for things that I can't provide, right? To be a help for the people that I can't help. You know what I'm saying? And so, yes, that conversation continues. I watched that journey. I've taken people to go vote for the first time, like Orlando did for a young black man before, right? I've done that, right? I've seen the transformation. I'm the reason people have registered under our party. So when y'all say things like, "How do you know? How is it possible?" But what if they don't keep going? I'm telling you, they do. I keep telling people these things. And then everybody comes to me and tells me I'm wrong. But then on the whole other side of things, I'm making it happen. I'm doing it. And I'm telling them, you should go make it happen too. The Republican Party doesn't support real justice reform unless Donald Trump puts his name on it. I know this to be true because I watched expungement bills fail many of times. And I watched the people in this party down talk that policy many of times. But guess what? Those are votes that y'all probably could have if y'all look at it a different way. People respect and appreciate good economic policy. They respect and appreciate a solution to the problem. People keep getting checks. They always gonna get checks, but things ain't they the same. They still bad. They getting worse. People want better. Who's going to explain the better to them, Ed?
You know,
So
and I'm with you on that. Because you want to be able to explain the better. You want to be able to talk about what could be. But before we get further into this discussion, you made an accusation against Orlando, talking about him being dangerous. And that, in all fairness, I want to give Orlando the time to respond. Orlando, please go ahead, and Jameer Kwan, please let him give his response, and we'll go accordingly. Orlando, please go ahead.
I think, unfortunately, I think Jamariquan is a little bit, I guess, ill-informed. That somehow I've lost connection, or I don't know the issues anymore, or whatever. Unfortunately, that's a sad commentary. As you grow and you mature, you learn more about issues. You also learn that there are certain values and core principles that should not and cannot be marginalized or lessened. Um, Jamiroquai, we've had a lot of conversations, and for whatever reason, there are some things that you believe, and maybe you're more of a libertarian than you are a conservative, and that's fine too. I don't knock that for you, but my counter to your argument is that my policies and principles have always been the same: solutionary, honest, and effective, right? And what we can actually achieve. I'm not going to give people pie in the sky solutions that I know the vast majority of conservative thinking people will probably not be supportive of. And what you're promoting and the things you're pushing for, by all means, go for it. Go forward, because you can bring those people to the table. I just don't know if those votes or those ideas will come together. Now you could say the things you said about me. I've lost connections. Like I'm still in Milwaukee. I don't know if you are anymore, but I'm still in Milwaukee, and I'm the same dude to pick you up off Capitol Drive. So let's
But
not.
what about the allegations about you being dangerous, though?
Well, again, I think that's unfortunate. I think that's inflammatory. It's hyperbole. I think Jamiroquai trying to emphasize a point that somehow he has figured out the Rubik's Cube. And that's not the answer. You're not answering the Rubik's Cube by saying Republicans need to be more open on issues. That's not the answer at all. By saying that, I think there's always discussion. There's always room to have a conversation. Like what you say about real police reform and expungement. Expungement, in my humble opinion, is a deceptive thing to do. I work in employment for over 25, almost 30 years now. That no matter expungement or not, there's going to be a criminal background check. And you cannot lie what's on the criminal background check. If you were convicted of something, you must disclose that. Who cares about expungement? That's one of his big things. And marijuana, legalizing marijuana.
Well,
And
let me interject here on something here, because oftentimes we talk about expungement, right? But it's tied into that. Well, you know what? We're going to take this off your record, and it won't be public on CCAP or anything else like that. But if you slip up, whether it's 2 years or 20 years, yeah, we're coming after you.
expungement doesn't take away anything. You hadn't been pardoned. You hadn't been given a clemency. You're still guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Expungement covers.
Oftentimes, though, you're pleading guilty because it's like the lesser of two evils. Can I spend $30,000 defending myself, or $3,000? And you know what I mean?
That's a deeper question, Ed, that I'm not trying to discuss.
100%. And I get that.
The question is about what does expungement do, which Jamiroquai and some of the people he support are so involved in. If that's what you want to do, you're fine with that. But just know there's going to be a background check that's going to be done, be it state and federal background checks, that everybody has to, talk about if the question is asked, because there's going to be a background check given. But what these promoters in expungement has done has misled people to say, as if it's almost like saying you didn't do that. Like, no. Now, I'm not saying that formerly incarcerated people are that should be your nail in your coffin. I'm not saying that at all. But let's not assume or try to propagate as far as like it's clearing your record, because it's not. There's going to be a background check. So you still have to bring it up. You still got to bring it up. Even ban the box. that my boss supported and got passed on the federal level. It just meant that you didn't ask the question in the interview. It still got done when you wasn't around. So if it's gonna be a background check, we might as well talk about it and give you the tool set
Mhm.
and the ability to discuss the things that you're not so proud of, some things you were challenged with in their time. So the individuals who are actually making the decision can see your sincerity, your commitment to change, and most important, your accountability. Because if you don't bring it up, what you do now, what you do now, you leave that room because we do this every month at the Joseph Project. What you do now, you leave the room hoping that there's not a background check that's being done, and hoping that because now you're giving
Mhm.
all your franchise and all your voice to me being the company who interviews you to say, well, what Jameer did I just get? Jameer who was impressive in the interview, who got a decent and have a decent resume, or Jameer who didn't tell me he got 7 felonies. So now you give it up to me when you could have had the opportunity to explain yourself.
So I want to kick it to Jameer Kwan and flip this here because I know 100% we have more in common than we don't. And me, being who I am, read micro expression. And Jameer Kwan, you're a horrible poker player. I can tell it. Facial expressions, everything else that goes along with that. Obviously, you work for AFP. You want to see a conservative agenda move forward. Talk to me about what your vision of that is through AFP. Talk to me, obviously, we talked about, you're looking at your people, black people.
I
Oh,
want to.
okay. All right. No, no, no,
I
no.
want
Let
to
me let,
correct
let,
that.
let me finish my question. If
Yeah.
I'm and clearly I'm wrong on that. Um, we are entering into one of the deepest, darkest cycles into 2024. We're all on the same side. But clearly there's nuance. Clearly there's things that we don't agree on a personal level, on a nuanced level. There's things that we need to really break down. And I know for a fact, Orlando and I get together. I'm gonna dap him up. It's hug, it's love. I know right now, if you and I met tomorrow, it's dap, it's love, it's all good. I know that. What are we looking at here? Talking about your agenda, talking about AFP. Talk to me about this. I'm giving you the floor.
We want common sense solutions moving forward and accountability for DC. Right. We want
Federal level.
and at the state level, we
Thank
want
you.
to continue to protect school choice. We want to continue to rein in the irresponsible spending at the state and the federal level. Y'all got to understand, in a couple of years, we're not even going to be able to afford our education system because of
We
the
can't
Evers
now.
veto pen. You understand? The Evers veto pen is going to make education unaffordable soon. So we need a strong legislature, right? We need a strong Supreme Court, a stronger Supreme Court. You know what I'm saying? We need a new governor and we need a new president, right? And we need to rein in spending in DC. We need solutions for healthcare, a more personal option. We need to lower taxes long term. There are a lot of things that we are not doing right now. There's a lot of promises that get made. What about Obamacare? We got promises about Obamacare, and guess what's still around? Obamacare. You know,
Yep.
there are a lot of things that are overlooked in its policy. What's not getting done? We had control of the White House and the Senate for so long. We had years.
Well,
We
we had
could
it.
do
We
whatever
had it
we
for the
wanted
first
to
two
do,
years. We had it for the first 2 years of the Trump administration, and there's a lot of old school Republicans.
brother.
They're like, oh, I like Paul Ryan and everything. Yeah, you like him, but you know what? He hamstrung Trump because he left for the Russia Gate and all the other
We
bullshit.
need to understand that when we had control, we voted yes on one of the most irresponsible spending packages in the history of this country. We
Do you
printed
remember when that
trillions of
happened?
dollars after they shut the economy down just to
Yep.
give a man a better chance at winning an election. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What?
Conservative politicians voted to send bailout money to the state of Illinois. That is what we're dealing with. And until we
Give me
talk
give me the time.
in
Give me the time frame because there's several
2020,
points.
2020,
All right. So you're talking about the stimulus
yes. And
packages
it didn't happen one time, Ed. It happened more than one time. Okay?
three
So
times.
so
Three
so we
times.
need to stop
Yep.
acting like
100%.
the conservative values have been present all of this time because it has not. Okay? And
Let
what
me
we
ask.
want to do in AFP is we want to move forward with a more responsible budgeting. We tried to pass a bill to end government shutdowns last year. We fought hard
Well,
to
that's on the
force
horizon right now.
people in DC to stay at work until they pass a resolve that is responsible. And the bill didn't pass. Right? So these are the things that we need to be talking about. You see how I just simply had this conversation
I'm
with you in
100.
seconds?
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
I'm not.
Of course he's not. But I have to go. All right.
Hey,
We could talk
Jamiroquai.
again later, but I'm telling you, we gotta talk about the policy. People need to know about these things. They don't know about these things because when Orlando, when the last time you knocked the door on Second and Keith?
Probably about 4 months ago.
All right, hey, look, it's spring primary. We've been outside all year. I was just outside with my guys this morning. Why 4 months ago?
I got a
Hey,
part time job.
gentlemen, gentlemen.
I've been doing doors for a while.
Let me just throw this here. I love both of you. And Jamiroquai, I've seen you at convention over the last couple of years. I've seen you a lot on social media. I got nothing but love for you,
I know
man.
you too.
Orlando, I've known you for a few years here, and I got nothing but love for you. And I was part of your campaign team. I want to make sure that people like us here, one of the rare times I'm going to throw the race card. All of us are people of color, right? We're going to have disagreements. That's fine. But when we get together, I want to be able to sit down with you guys and we're going to have a meal. We're going to have some drink. And you might decide you're going to have a Coke, a Pepsi, and let's argue about what's better, Coke or Pepsi. I like Coke because it's got the fizz. Or maybe you like Jack Daniels. Maybe you like Jim Beam. Maybe you don't want to drink it all. That's cool too. But let's at least sit down, enjoy our company. Because what we need to do is elevate the conservative movement to from here and to another level. The point simply is here to the next level. That's where we need to be. And let's sit here. Let's argue. Let's discuss. Let's debate. And then at the end of the day, let's share a meal together. Because I'll tell you what, Jamiroquai, how old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
28. Orlando and I, we're old. Like old.
I love Orlando.
But let
That's
me just say
that's
it. Let
my
me just say this.
man.
Let me just say this.
It's not no
Let me just
problem.
say
I
this.
love. I do disagree with him,
Yeah.
and there are things that I am not comfortable with. I ain't gonna blast. That's me and him.
Right.
That's my family. So we ain't gonna do this over no camera. But I don't got no ill will for that. That man is why I'm here today. I say that he
Right.
heard me say that many times. I don't gotta.
Absolutely.
But he's wrong. He's wrong. He's been wrong. He's done some things the wrong way. He has misrepresented his power. He's a powerful man.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I might just be a little
Hmm.
disappointed in the lack
Hmm.
of presence that power has in some of the issues that matter most to the people in the black community. We do the work for everybody, but is it really fun if America is great and people still suffer? If people are not allowed to live the American dream, then did we really do our service for America? And I disagree with that. That's all I'm saying. That's my man.
Oh
Orlando, I
God,
love you.
Jamiroquai, why you
And
gotta
I
do this
love
to me,
you.
dude?
And I love you, Orlando. I love you. I don't hope I really hope I didn't give off the. I'm passionate. This is what I do. I work on Sundays, baby. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing with it.
No.
That's where this energy is coming from because people come, they cry to me. You hear me? They cry to me.
Yep. Oh, all right. You know what? You know what? You gave so much right there. I don't think you understand, Jamiroquai. I could do an easy 3 to fucking 8 hours with you just on that your last commentary. Like I could literally go that long with you because you unpack so much. And you know what? We're going to do that. Um, have I given you my personal cell number?
Yeah, you have my cell. Every time you see me, I give you my cell number for another time,
All
and you
right,
can
no.
call me. And you tell me I'm
We
in Appleton or whatever. I don't come to Milwaukee no more. Whatever you say, and I say no, it's a great city. Come down, visit. I show you around. We have a good time. And you say no, I'm gonna die out there. And I say
all
okay,
right.
cool.
Well, you know what? I probably will die out there, but whatever, man. I hard to kill still. We're gonna make this happen. And I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna DM you on Facebook. My number.
All right, that's cool. I gotta
Let's
go. I gotta go.
do you because we got so much. God, this could be an easy multi-segment
Yeah,
conversation.
call me.
Do you, Jamericon? Good night. Thank you for joining on here tonight. Oh man, lit tonight. You're a horrible poker player.
It's just unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
I I think the problem is that when you start categorizing somebody as dangerous, and it's like, what does that really mean?
Unfortunate.
That's
I
the problem I
mean,
have.
so it's unfortunate that we can't make a distinction between libertarian ideas and conservative ideas. So Marijuana is much more of a libertarian. That's why the organization.
More so than he realized. And when it's funny, he's more libertarian on a lot of issues, but he's like pro-black.
Well, again, and I'm not in this whole race thing, and that's what he believes. There's a inroads to black people, and you're not going to out left the left for black people, and that's what his lack of experience shows by pushing again for expungement. I don't care about expungement, but he thinks that's a really big issue, right? And there are some conservatives who think it's a big issue, like why they shouldn't do it, because some conservatively, like you're trying to hide something, and no one can see it,
Just keep going. Just keep going with commentary. I got to step
which
away for a second.
which is wrong. The only thing that an expungement does, it stops the general public from seeing your criminal background. It does not pardon you. It does not clear you for what you have been found guilty of. So, if on an application and there's a question that asks, do you have a criminal background? And because you have a expungement, it does not mean you can put in that area to say, I don't have a criminal background. It's been expunged. And the expungement is not clearing you. What you just did was lied. What you just did was to hurt your own chances of getting that job or that apartment or whatever you were trying to apply for because you just lied on an application. That's the problem that I have with this whole idea of expungement, as if that's the reason why people are not being hired because of their criminal background. I've been doing this for 25 years of employment. That's not the reason why people are not being employed. And so this big push, like Republicans are not truly about criminal justice reform because they don't support expungement completely. And I also, like, again, I come down on Republicans on the standpoint of expungement is not clearing your record, because it's not. It is still, you're guilty for what you did. And so what we teach at the Joseph Project is irregardless. And we had several people that come through our project and said, well, I got an expungement. I had to tell them, like, you do know you're still guilty what you did, right?
Well, the thing is, if you're over here declaring you got an expungement, why would you say that?
Well, because they
Shut
think
the fuck up and don't say nothing.
Because they think an expungement is some type of clearing of the record. I said, I don't care if you guys do expungement, even to Jamiroquai. But just make sure you are educating people to what it really is, which is not a pardon or a clemency of what you did. You still did what you did. You wasn't the verdict hadn't been overturned. You still guilty. So when they do a background check and you don't put it down, you're now a liar. And
well, yeah, there are people that have been arrested and they pled out and they got a deal, and nothing's going to pop up when a background check is shown. And
why is
so
that?
they keep it, well, because they keep the nose clean.
So as long as a deal, they still plead guilty to a charge.
Well, they pled out, but in Milwaukee they had this I can't remember what the program is exactly called, but essentially it was like, if you plead out,
first time offenders program.
Yeah. And you had to go to to a program,
and this is primarily for minor offenses, not felonies.
Yes, right. And in those cases, as long as you don't do something within X amount of period of time, then you know what, nothing's going to show up on your records.
First time offenders program. Yeah, I went through it myself.
Yep. And not a problem. Interesting enough, in the first time offender program, the first person who was in that program, I killed somebody, and then killed somebody again.
Can't be a first. That can't be the first time offender, because
it's Milwaukee, so anything can happen.
So even when I went through the first time offenders program myself, I was still coached to say, you do know, if they ask, you have to say you did what you went through something. So what I had put on paperwork was, I was charged with this, but I am in a program that if I stay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to say, because it was still officially on the record. So the first time offenders program doesn't remove anything until you finish the conditions. So while you're going through a 2-year or 1 year or 9 month, whatever,
right,
it's still there, or it's pending, or the case is still open. Most times it's still open. So
but after that, though, you don't do any of that.
Right. If you don't and you complete what you did, then it does not show. Now, let me be clear. That's for any convictions. You still have an arrest record.
Well, and that's a whole nother matter, because the arrest record is not going to show unless you dig deeper, which it doesn't take much to do that, because there's websites that have mug shots and all that other shit.
When you work with companies that do FBI and EIB background checks, they show arrest records also. So now we get into the area of, if I don't say it, they find it. Now we're starting to slide into that gray area. versus saying, yes, I did do a misdemeanor, but I'm currently under the first time offenders program. If I do right, the charge will be dropped.
Mm-hmm.
People are more receptive when you are honest and transparent.
Well, it's interesting because the way they frame a lot of that stuff, it's like, well, then you're off. Okay, so 3 months later, you apply for a job. Well, we dug a little deeper. We found that's the fuck. They said I was good,
No, you're
but
not.
that's a whole nother matter.
And so I think that's where I think Jamiroquai is trying to appeal to a population. If you want to say black people, I'll go with that for the sake of argument.
Mm-hmm.
On issues he think that will motivate them to vote for Republicans. And if he can outline the failures of the Democrat Party, they will vote Republicans. Well, the problem is this: by getting recreational marijuana to pass, you need to get a whole lot of Republicans.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not going to be an easy lift. And if you think that's the only way you can get black voters is saying, well, legalize marijuana, well, legalize, late term abortion, well, legalize, whatever.
Yeah.
You're becoming Democrat light. And that's
and sadly, I think that's what the Republican Party has become these days.
Well, I think even on the issue of abortion, I think Republicans are to the point of having an honest conversation to say that let's have a discussion on where the people think. Even around marijuana, you have more Republicans who are open to medical marijuana than legalization. Now, the problem with medical marijuana means if you say you have this disorder, that means you probably can't own a firearm. It means you probably can't have a license after a certain time. It means you probably there's going to be something that comes behind.
Yep. Same as it ever was.
Like you can't have, that means you can't legally own a firearm. You can't legally do this. So if you want to say because you have a disorder.
Well, Colorado got people all caught up on that. Colorado got them caught up.
And also, let's also look at the ramifications behind it. That means companies steal drug tests. You can have let's say a prescription for this, but let's also be clear. I still may not want somebody under that type of prescription on my production line.
Well, I have a warehouse. You're driving a Big Joe. Do I want to trust the fact that you were high as hell last night driving my vehicles in my warehouse?
Well, even with that, there are some precautions in using the miracle marijuana. Like once under, you shouldn't use machinery. So
do not use heavy machinery when you're on Percocet. It's like.
So how do you work in a manufacturing environment then? So
right,
you can work in customer service. And again, I'm not saying you couldn't, but you also understand you limit the amount of jobs that you can apply for that you don't have the skill set for. So now, because you want to have a medical marijuana
is that a new drug?
It's a new. I'm just saying, but you limit now what you can actually apply for that you may not be qualified for. So now we're going to repeat this cycle of I can get a job working in customer service because you ain't there working customer service. You know how to work on bricks, but since you got a miracle marijuana thing, I'm not going to hire you around my brick creating machine because you.
But you know what? There's some cats that they're high as hell, and I know a lot of functional alcoholics.
I get it.
I would not take their booze away from them because you know what? When they're drunk, they're on point.
Yeah, I can only say that's wrong also.
Well, from an ethical perspective, sure, but there's a lot of people that are good at what they do, and they,
Yeah, I would question if I knew you're a functioning alcoholic or a dope head, and we're doing something.
Well, I think a dope head is very different than an alcoholic.
I mean, let's say even alcoholic. I don't know if you're coming in hungover or you're on a high buzz right now. I don't know if I want you
Yeah.
looking in front of me. How about this? I'll pass the product to you. Don't pass it to me.
Yeah. Hey, let's put this up here because we are
Where
almost
we at?
midnight.
What's the numbers looking like?
We are looking at Donald Trump at 451,000 against Haley's 298,000. Haley she broke the 40% barrier here around the cursor. I gotta get a better cursor. But she has broken the 40% barrier, but she's been hovering around 39 the majority of the night. Somebody on Twitter was talking about, well, if Haley doesn't break 40%, she's going to drop out. What do you think is the probability that she does that?
Based on what she said tonight, she's not. She has another play in place, and
Is she in glutton for punishment?
maybe she's going to run on the no labels. I don't know, but clearly she is not dropping out. And I guess at this point, let's just. I'm almost at the point, and I'm just going to say this, Ed. No disrespect to you,
Of
or
course.
or anybody else. Let's just assume she in, and Trump go run the table, because let's stop. Well, she's gonna drop out tomorrow. She's gonna drop out today. It's over. She says she in. Take her at her word. She in. Okay, let's run it. Let's run it. Forget it.
I'm,
She in.
I'm at, you know what? I'm at that point too. If you want to be there for the abuse, if you want to be there, at this point, this is old school. You remember like the AWA, the old WWF, where you had the Legion of Doom tag team, Animal and Hawk. They would come on in there. There's another tag team in there. They come in there, devastate them, beat the hell out of them, and eventually drop the doomsday device on them, pin them for the 1, 2, 3. This is what I see. Like, are you serious? You really want to sit here and get beat down night after night, primary after primary, caucus after caucus? Are you serious? This is what we're doing.
Well,
Remember, last year, to me, like Vivek Ramaswamy, that was the guy who was behind, 100%. Well, he dropped out.
well,
Fair enough.
I just think this, Ed. She's done. So
Well, she's been done since she began.
she knows she's done after this. So if it's going to be done, it's her last political race she's going to ever run for.
The
She's
Democrat
gonna-
money's too good.
She gonna go all in and do whatever, because she knows she's done. She knows
Mhm.
she's crossed the Rubicon and can't come back.
Yeah.
And so it's like she, at this point, I guess on some levels, I don't blame her. If you go if you gonna go with into the burning fire, you might as well light you get your drawers on fire too, because you're going in. Just go ahead, because she
Go
going.
big or go home.
There you go. Go head on and just go head on. She knows she's not going to run for no office no more. She know that she's probably isolated at least half or more than that in the
She's
conservative
in the
movement.
category of Mike Pence.
Yes.
She put herself in it. And that's the sad part. Mike Pence did what he thought was right. Nikki Haley, put herself there intentionally.
Unnecessarily.
Like you didn't have to do that. Like,
let me say this, maybe not necessarily unnecessarily. I think her political career was over. She could have went into a very quiet place, but she was already there somewhat as being, she was already a diplomat, Secretary of State. Was it next?
no, she was a UN ambassador.
UN ambassador. So she's already been living a quiet life. This is her last hurrah of something exciting. At this point, after then, her kids' school is paid for, their expenses are paid for. Her husband is in the military. So if she don't get another job, they not gonna be hurt, bro.
Here, let me throw this out here. She's gonna write a book we're in 24. She'll write back a book in 25, 26 about being a woman and running for president and how the whole she'll play on the whole DEI,
Yeah.
ESG, the whole oh my
You don't
God.
need no money, bro.
They didn't want an Indian woman running, and I swear to God, I was talking with my wife today, and there's some guys that won't vote for her because she's a woman. Now, that to me, that's a very small percentage,
Very small, very
fractional,
silly.
and I think a lot of women tend to default to this. You don't want us because we're a woman. No, I'm not voting for your vagina. I'm not voting for your breasticles. I'm not voting about your reproductive. Are you competent? Can you do the job at hand? That
What,
is what is most important,
what does Nikki Haley really have to pay for, bro?
right?
Her kids are like high school or in college. I'm quite certain at this point her husband is still working in the military. He's going to probably retire from the military. The house is either paid for or is being paid on. I mean, really, anything she does as being a lecturer or guest lecturer they're not hurt for money. So she might as well go all out because this ain't gonna make or break her. Put it that. I mean, it will make her if she becomes.
It's going to make her no matter what because she's going to get a book on this no matter what.
Right. So
Somebody's signing her.
you ain't talking to somebody who's in their 20s or 30s and they still having kids and kids ain't put away money for college and tuition. Her kids are teenagers, bro. Someone in college. So she's looking at being a grandmother soon. So her house is paid and then her husband is still in the military. So he's going to retire with probably a decent pension that they can meet their basic needs.
Yep.
So
100%.
She don't have a reason not to go full force and full bore. Like, you're going to lose your political future. She's like 55.
Does she care?
She's 54, 55. She'll be eligible for Social Security in 10 years. So what?
In 10 years.
She ain't got a lot of future left. She can sit on a lot of kind of moderate boards and be an advisor.
What is she going to command on a speaking circuit?
What's that?
What is she going to command on a speaking circuit?
She's going to probably get a nice.
She's going to be able to go out there, and she's probably going to be able to command. If I can go on a speaking circuit, right, and I can make once a month $30,000, and I'm low end.
Bro,
who am I?
She ain't doing this for money.
I'm caramel delicious. $30,000 once a month.
She ain't doing this for money, bro.
You pay for flight and expenses and everything else. $30,000 profit.
They live the life. She don't have a lot of overhead, so whatever. So she loses and never does anything politically again. I get the sneaking inclination that Nikki Haley, they are not like big spenders. Like, they are probably good with their money. She done pay for these kids' college. House is paid for or being paid for. Her husband's gonna retire from the military. She doesn't seem like a really high maintenance lady. Like, she gotta have this. We gotta go here every year. She don't seem like that type of lady to me.
Right.
They're gonna be okay with the house is paid for. That raised her children in. So now they're leaving. They're gonna be empty nesting soon. They're gonna sell the house soon and probably be downsizing. So
get a condo.
Right. So she don't have to work. So she can fade to write a book, writing memoirs.
That's what I said. Yep.
She can fade back. So she don't care about people like, well, you're gonna ruin your political future. She doesn't have one. Politics for her is in the rear view. This is it for her.
Yeah, let me look at this here. How old is Nikki Haley?
54, I'm thinking.
All right. Good pick. Nikki Haley. And I want to find this out because I think this is very, very pertinent to what we're talking. 52. Oh,
52.
she's only 2 years older than me. All right, all right. So at 52 years of age, she has a whole nother career ahead of her. Like
Right.
literally.
And it don't have to be nothing with politics. She can
No.
quietly go into a position
Mhm.
and just be a manager or whatever. And again, remember, they don't need the money, bro.
Right, but
Everything is paid for at
it's
this
all
point.
about maintaining lifestyle at that point.
Right. So in that lifestyle, I mean, like you said, like I said, sell the house, go move in a condo. He's going to get a pension for the rest. She's probably going to get a pension being governor of Louisiana,
Yeah, South Carolina. Yep.
South Carolina. So they living off 2 pensions. Her kids' college are paid for already. I mean, she's going to retire as like basically a public employee, a nice investment, a pension, and they're not looking to buy a lot of stuff. So whatever she does, they're going to be okay, which gives the reason. And the more I'm saying this, is the more the reason why she ain't getting out there. She know this is it for her, bro. She know that. So she knows
Well,
she ain't running for nothing else after this. I mean, maybe school board librarian, but this is it. This is it.
school board librarian. Let's recap here
All right.
what we have for the South Carolina primary. And a lot of people thought that if she was going to make it to South Carolina, that she would be ducking out. But here are the facts. Here's the numbers. We're looking at 59.8% toward Trump to 39.5. So she didn't end at 40. Trump, 441,905 versus Haley's 298,681, which gives Trump 44 bound delegates, 3 to Nikki Haley. And keep in mind, South Carolina is a winner take all.
So I'll say this again. I know we're moving on to the numbers, but I also wanted to say this, bro. I mean, if she loses this thing, as far as let's say she stays through Super Tuesday, is Nikki?
Oh my God, really? Do you think she's gonna make it? Oh,
she said
dude,
it. She said it tonight.
If it, she said it tonight. She's talking about, the other state deserves to have, a choice. It's not Soviet style. It's like you're the only one who's like invoking Soviet, Russian, whatever.
So
That's
as you say, as we talked about tonight, who is bankrolling and giving Nikki Haley campaign money? Who is she really? Is she really auditioning for president, or is she really auditioning for a CEO or chief advisor of some of those donors who giving her money? So therefore, she has to stay in it because they gave her money to stay in it. So she now has to do this all the way through because these are the same people, once she loses, who are going to hire her for something.
Yep.
So she has to go all the way because
she's going to make 6 figures, right in the high level 6 figures too.
Right. So she has to do this because those are the people who are bankrolling her campaign. And these are the people who will give her a soft landing when she finally concedes. And she's going to ride this out because that's why. So she cannot get out because these are the individuals who've been paying for the campaign. And she's looking for her next gig. It is not president.
So let me ask this. If she bows out whenever, does she endorse Trump?
No, she doesn't.
Does she just kind of fade to black?
She gives what she gave tonight. We have to do better as a nation. And I want to congratulate President Trump for winning the nomination. That's as far as she's going to go. And she's going to throw shade on both of the candidates. And she's going to say, we have to do better as a nation. And I love you all. That's not going to change because, again, she has to be able to satisfy her donors because these are some of the same people who will open the door because she can't come back to this side, bro. That's a wrap.
But the thing is, like, you're satisfy your donors. Which donors? The Republican ones?
No,
I don't know who the fuck's
no,
doing
bro.
that.
No, bro. She ain't coming back because we ain't giving her money. She has, so that door's been
I
closed.
I don't think at this point there's any big Republican donors that are donating to Haley.
She
Like,
has to get that door open now. So she has to do what she did tonight, to be magnanimous as best she can and say, I congratulate President Trump, but I think both him and Joe Biden are just terrible for the country. And you're gonna, so she's already closed the door on having a Republican job after this is over. That's closed. So she now is making sure she keeps the door open for this moderate, liberal, whatever.
you know who she's gonna work for? Like Raytheon, Halliburton,
CW,
maybe
CNC.
BlackRock.
She's going to work for CNN as a commentator. They're going to call her in.
Oh, the Charlie Sykes route. All right.
She's going to be Michael Steele.
I did not see that.
Michael Steele. She'll talk about all the problems with the Republican Party. Michael Steele. How does Michael Steele, the chairman of the RNC, I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah, I did not. That's an excellent point. It keeps her face in the forefront.
If it's what she wants. But I will tell you again, her donors who are giving her money, she don't have to do that. She's just going to be someone who's going to be talking about democracy in general, and she's going to be.
By the way, the next time I hear the word democracy, we have to protect our democracy. I can't have you on my show.
Not the republic, the democracy.
Not the constitutional republic. Not, it's like
the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, Declaration of Independence. No, we must protect democracy. Democracy. How foolish of you to say these things. Yeah, we got to keep doing this, man. This is pretty cool tonight.
No, we got to keep it up here. And Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, CPT. That's common people time for those of you guys that don't know. It might be 8, might be 7:45, might be 8:15. Doesn't matter. You're gonna be here.
I'm gonna try my best, and whatever night you think may be a good night or not a good night for me to come on, I'll be there, my friend. I'll look forward to hearing Jamiroquai and you talk, because I'm like, okay, because I don't know, man. I think part of the issue is that a lot of Black conservatives, they view me as like, I don't want to say a black libertarian. I'm like, you all have to understand that I support the idea of freedom for everybody. And I'm not necessarily so entrenched with the Republican Party that I don't understand Black accountability. I don't believe neither party is our savior.
Right. So
you do know that I'm not going, well, they need to be doing this. And I also know, since I've done the doors and I've done the work, I know there's a ton of people in the state, in the city, in the community that looks like me, who have a big problem with America. And that deep entrenched issue is going to take a long time to fix. But I also understand this. If you don't have power and leadership to actually, and this is why I will say Republicans fell down, is when we have one, and we'll win again, we must make a definitive. You still there, Ed? Oh, hold on, what I just do?
No, I'm still here. We're still good. We're still good.
Button somewhere. We must make a definitive footprint on these issues when we have the levers of power. The thing that Scott Walker did not do when he became governor,
right?
He did not have a robust, let me say, in my opinion, Scott Walker probably should have done every once a month or 45 days a press conference from Milwaukee. And for every agency that was getting state money, there should have been a huge impact of, I'm Scott Walker and I'm your governor, and I'm here to do the things X, Y, and Z.
Well, and Paris Procopis we talked about this. You know, there's the beef going on here. You know, it's between yourself, Ian C. Jordan.
He's
I
silly.
love you both,
He's silly.
and I'm not getting
He
into the
needs some help.
bullshit.
He needs some
You know,
help.
I will check who I have to check accordingly.
He
You
just
know,
posted again tonight. He just
and,
posted again.
and he did a little TikTok bullshit thing and everything. But the thing is, though, it's like Paris and I had talked about this. Paris and I didn't have any love lost, and I'm not talking ill of the dead. Paris hated me. I hated him. I didn't wish any ill will on him. You know, uh, Ian we did a live stream together several weeks back, and I said the same thing. I hate him, motherfucker. What the fuck? Am I gonna sit here and talk about I loved him? No, I did not. But when I got the call, I had a call from Jim Pavardek,
Okay.
and he's like, "Yo, we just want to let you know we got a call, and they told me about what was going on." And I was like dumbstruck. This was fucking early afternoon on exactly where I was. I didn't care for Paris, but I did not wish ill will on him. So because I'm in this conversation right now, and I'm gonna address it directly to you, Ian. Are you gonna want to fight me? Because I didn't give a fuck about him? Because I thought he was fucking garbage in life? We all came up together, you know? And it's like, I'm gonna just take my glasses off here. We just deviated in different paths, you know? So because we deviated on different paths and had a different approach of how we were going to get to a common ground via the deviation, you lost sight of the common ground. That's the problem. And now we're going to evoke people's names in death when things weren't said. We're just simply acknowledging things of the past. No. At a certain point, you have to grow up enough to realize that, we're not talking about this individual in a negative or a positive, just as they were. That's all you got to do. It is not a negative or a positive. I can acknowledge the fact that I didn't care for him, but my heart mourned and broke for him, his family, and he died too young. Hell, my father died too young. And this motherfucker was 70 years old. What dude is doing a triathlon in his 60s and dies at 70? But it happens. Life's not fair. At this point, I look at this, and I watched a bit of your Instagram live stream. And I saw Mitch and some other people on there. All I see is just a pissing contest. Who's got the biggest dick on and it's like, enough's enough. When do we realize we have less time on this earth than we do than we do in the past? I'm at this point in my life, I'll be 51 in in 2 weeks. I have less time on this planet. I'm not fighting with any motherfucker here. If you're not fucking going to comply with what I'm doing on this platform, get the fuck on, get the stepping. You want to fight me? Fine, fight me. But please do understand, you're probably going to lose.
I don't know, Ed. I feel for the brother, man. Because I think,
well, the drama's the bullshit. What are you doing the drama for? So you can get clicks, likes?
we're not doing,
We got 2 people on this watching right now. 2 people.
me and
I
you.
don't care if it's 2 or 200. And I've had 200, I've had 2,000.
And I had two. You had two.
Right. The point is, we just need to get it one. But we got cats like, oh, I got 30,000 people on on TikTok, Instagram.
I just feel, Ed, that it's unfortunate, and I've said this on. I did
We got one now.
a live on. We just lost them.
Yeah, we went from 2 to 1.
I did a live on Instagram, and I said, man, this is sad, and I just pray for Brother Ian, man, and I hope this is not how he views, how much value he can bring, but he gotta go. You don't have to send me videos of you punching at a bag and think man, I'm too old. I'm too old. What is? I'm not.
Okay. So here I am. I'm 50 years old. I'm 2 months away from 51, and I'm over here displaying ink. Right? I'm displaying ink. I'm talking about being fit at 50. I'm in the best physical shape of my life at this point. And for some people, it's like, damn, that's the best you could produce. Yeah. All right. I could have been better.
I was pretty bad.
I could have been better.
Yeah.
But considering I kind of wasted away my 20s, my 30s, and part of my 40s, I'm kind of proud of where I'm at today.
I kind of made it through, because if I could tell you what I did.
I'm just saying, at 50, I'm like Jack and Juicy, and it's only uphill from here.
You saw some of them pictures, like, whoa, Ed, you lost a lot of weight. Like, yeah, I was really bad.
It's so, and I've seen other cats that are at my age, and it's like, damn, you don't look like you've been hit by a truck. But all of us have different journeys, different paths to get to our goals. And I'm at this point where it's like, I'm tired of conservatives fighting with each other. I'm tired of the anti-Robin Voss crowd. Matthew Allen, I love you. Adrian Memney, I got nothing but love for you. Joe Bartels, I got nothing but love for you. Who is the chairman of Sheboygan Republican Party? Russ, what the fuck is your last name, Russ?
Scott, Russ.
Oh. It's Russ, whatever the hell would you give your last name? Got nothing but that. I love Russ. But I'm not going to sit here and fight with any of these people.
No, because everybody going to do their own thing.
No, you do your own thing, but you know what?
Is it Russ Otten?
Otten, yes. I got love for all of them, But it's like, don't put me into a position where I have to choose one or the other. I don't have time for that. I'm not in the middle of your high school musical drama bullshit. And that's where I feel that right now, within the conservative movement here in Wisconsin, we have not gotten over that from 2022. We have not, by a long shot. And there really needs to be come to Jesus moment, and that has not happened. And then we'll put that on the shoulders of Brian Schimming. And I love Brian Schimming. And I know there's certain people that don't like him. I like him because, I've gotten to know him over the years. But I will put that on his shoulders, and I will put that on all the Patriot group's shoulders just the same. Because all of us have accountability. Hell, I'll put it on my shoulders too. Because I've said a lot of shit that's been out of pocket. If I'm going to accuse somebody else, that saying, you point your finger at somebody, there are 4 others pointing at you. Well, I'm looking at the anatomical natures, 3 that are pointing toward me, but you get the point.
Right.
It's amazing when you have the phraseology, but then you do the actual anatomic. I got a thumb pointing down.
Well, the vote is against you.
The vote is against me. Absolutely.
3-1. And one was I'm a no vote.
Right. I'm voting present.
There you go.
Right. All right, man. What are we looking at here? Jamiroquai hit me up on DM. we're gonna have Jamiroquai on the show. It's gonna be me one-on-one with Jamiroquai, and no
Let you
offense to you,
guys have
Orlando.
no problem.
I think Jamiroquai and I can have a great conversation. You and I, we're gonna have more and more of these here Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And
I know.
Thursday, hopefully. 2 nights a week.
Well, it's gonna depend on and I love Jamiroquai. Jamiroquai's got some fucking. He's got some great energy. And I love that about an individual. Give me your passion. Give me your love. Give me your hate.
I think you guys will connect more on your libertarian streaks.
Well, you know what? I'll be the first cat to tell you that. I lean a lot more libertarian, but I also understand, and you taught me this. What's the best vehicle that will most align with my values to get me where I want to be?
It's a car, and we got to figure out. We all got to get in here. You got to put some gas in the car. We all got to get in. There's only one car going. So
I'm just saying, if the car's out of gas, I'll be the motherfucker to push the car, and I will do it uphill.
Well, man, I appreciate you, man. Again, great conversation, and let's see what happens. But I think we may do some things differently to get more attention, but to the podcast. But I like this, brother Ed. I really do. And I like working with you.
I tell you, man, I want to get this conversation going with you, me, Jamiroquai. I want to get Badger State Resistance up in this conversation. I want Wisconsin right now up in here, Jim Pivarchek, Jessica McBride. I want to get everybody up in this conversation because you know what? Again, I'm going to be the moderator. I'm going to be the ringmaster. Let's rein it in. I'll mute you. I'll boot you. But if you're gonna be proper on point, and you know what? It is funny because I give a lot of leeway.
You do.
But if you're gonna be acting all too out of line, then you know what? Here's what it is.
I gotta bring you in.
But man, we got so much, and we got less than 8-9 months.
Probably 8 months or so. Next week will be March.
We're closer to 8 than we are to 9.
Right.
And we know the primary April 2nd.
We got elections, so I think we need to, for all the side issues, we're going to have to agree to put some of them on the shelf for now. We're going to have to be at least, even myself, collegial. And just work your lane. And I think that's the best we can do. And honestly, that's the most you can ask. Can we just work our lane? I don't just like each other. I just need y'all to be able to work your lane. Let's work your lane.
Know your role and stick to it. Like The Rock would say back in the day. So, all right, Orlando for Wisconsin, Orlando for WI.com. Is that still up?
It is. I need to probably update it. We got campaign stuff on it, so we paid for the domain. I think we still have it, so it's still there. We definitely need to update it. I need to put some new information out there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, make sure you check us out at. Let me see. I'm gonna get the ticker here. Show. There we go. Check out the DelgadoShow.com. That's where you for all past episodes and all that good stuff. Orlando, thank you for joining me over tonight. All right, brother. You have a good night.
All right.
Man, freaking phenomenal episode here. We had a great, in-depth, heated conversation, and I'm going to be getting connection with Jamiroquai here. You guys saw him tonight. And he gave a lot of great insight, and it was contentious. It was wonderful. And I think once we come to a greater understanding, we need to understand that, here we are. This is my platform. This is how we're going to roll. This is how we're going to do things. But I want to give him a fair opportunity just the same. And Orlando and I, we broke down these things here with regards to the South Carolina primary and everything that be held to that. And let's take a look real quick here. We have Trump here at 451,905, which puts him ahead at just over 153,000. 44 bound delegates, 3 delegates bound to Haley. Understand South Carolina, winner take all. Her votes, 298,681. Wow. This is how do you get your ass whooped and give a victory speech? The brass, the balls, the audacity. Man. Anyway, guys, here it is Saturday night, and we are looking at coming into Sunday. Enjoy it. Love it. Sit down at brunch, breakfast, lunch with your families. Go forth. Become the best version of yourselves you can be. Man, I miss my outro music. But I will check in with you guys here in a few days, and we'll go from there. So good night. God bless you. God bless the state of Wisconsin. God bless the USA. I am out.